Welcome to the April 4th, 2024 meeting of the Riverfront Design Committee. My name is Ricardo Montoya. I am the chair of the committee. When called on, applicants and speakers will come to the front podium to speak. Only one person at a time should come to the podium. Do not approach the podium until vacated by previous speaker. Speak into the microphone, please, and identify yourself and provide your address for the record when you begin speaking. Address your comments, questions, and testimony to the committee. Limit your comments to 3 minutes. It is unnecessary to repeat testimony previously given by others. Citizens may address the committee on agenda items by responding to chair's call for speakers during discussion on each item and signing the speaker's log on the podium. All comments must be relevant to the item. The chair or presiding officer may, in his or her discretion, prohibit a person from addressing the committee and/or remove that person from the council chambers if that person commits any disorderly or disruptive behavior. Please see the agenda for more information about these requirements. If you parked in the Sheridan Walker parking garage north of John Rex Elementary School or the Arts District parking garage immediately south of City Hall, staff can provide a parking validation ticket to you. The agenda and documents are located at https://okc.primegov.com/public/portal. You would then select the Riverfront Design Committee meeting. Then click on an agenda item and the relevant documents will come up below the item. Keith, will you please call the roll?
Montoya.
Present.
Heisel.
Present.
Lyons. Ramirez.
Present.
Templeton. Present. We have quorum.
Thank you. Item 2A, approval of the March 7th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Is your microphone on, Dana?
I've been punching the wrong button.
There you go, thank you.
Templeton would like to provide a recommendation of approval for the minutes dated March 7th, 2024.
Second by Heisel.
Thank you.
And Ramirez, your vote, please.
A vote passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 3, cases withdrawn, none. Item 4, continuance requests, none. Item 5, consent docket, none. Item 6, cases for individual consideration, none. Item 7, other business. This regards the ordinance amendment to Chapter 59 to restructure the city's design review bodies. Laura?
Okay, there it is, sorry. I lost my mouse, now I found it. Good morning, Laura Griggs, Planning Department. Within the last couple of years at a committee commission training, there was discussion about staff was working on consolidating some of our design review committees. We currently have 5, and we were looking at combining some of the duties so that we would reduce the overall number of the design committees. Currently, the committees that we have are Riverfront Design Committee. We have Bricktown, Downtown, Scenic River, Stockyards, and Urban Design. And as you know, your committee, your design district is the largest, spanning from Meridian all the way over to Eastern along the river. And as you can see on the screen, there's a lot of sub-districts in some of the design committees, and we've got those listed. And so we provided some information here about when all of these were established. Your committee was established in 2007, the same year that Downtown was, but some of these, as you can see, Bricktown was established, and I don't have my glasses on, so it was the 90s sometime. Some of them are much older. They have different sizes, they have different criteria, and you can see how large the riverfront is in that shot. Stockyards is probably one of the smaller ones. That doesn't mean it's any less important, and it has also been around since the 90s. The urban design is kind of spread around, as you can see from the map that's on this slide, all the way up to the Lincoln Boulevard overlay up on North Lincoln, the ones that are along Northwest 23rd Street, and the southernmost one right now is Capitol Hill. And so in researching this, the reason that we were working on this is we're currently working on the overall code update that some of you have been involved in on some committees. And one of the goals is to make our processes more efficient. So as you know, and you've heard from me, we might have a meeting and you're here for 5 minutes. You leave your job, you drive down, you're here for 5 minutes, and then you go back to your job, and that's not really an efficient use of your time. Whereas if we combine some of these areas and we have more of the district going to a single body, there would be more items on an agenda, and people would be down here to work through all of those items, and you would not necessarily spend 5 minutes and then go back. It takes you probably longer to park your car, unless you park on the street like some of you do, and then you're in here really quickly. And no, I'm not looking at you, Dana. Actually, it was the spring of '23 when we started talking about this with you. And so what we've looked at doing is reducing the number of appointments. Right now, there's 37 individuals among our 5 committees, and that's a lot of people. You know, some of our committees have 9, like yours, some have 7. There's one that has 5. Currently, there is 1 member who's on 2 committees because that's how it's written. So I have a member of downtown that's also on urban design, which means he has 2 meetings a month instead of just 1. And so this would look at reducing the number of citizens appointed down to 18, having 2 9-member commissions. And it would look at taking the duties currently that go to Bricktown, and that would be combined with downtown, which, you know, it's right adjacent. It's fairly, in my opinion, that would be logical. And then urban design would be, as I showed you, since it's spread out quite a bit around the city, adding both stockyards and scenic river to urban design. And so the criteria for membership on these commissions would be changed to reflect the fact that we're now expanding it to include other areas of the city. We have to take this before all of the design review bodies, and I included the dates in the staff report of when it's going. This was rolled out first back in February at the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority, which 2 of the members of this body are on that committee, and they have these seats because they're on that committee. OKRA voted unanimously to recommend approval of this, and their recommendation is to City Council, whereas your recommendation would be to the Planning Commission because of how you're set up. So we have the rest of this month, we have 3 other design committee bodies, and then 1st of May, take it to stockyards, and then after that, May, June, and I keep forgetting that I should have continued to scroll because part of what I was saying was on these slides. Go to Planning Commission, and then June, July, go to City Council. The one thing I didn't specifically land on is this slide here, which is we have the current membership and the criteria, and then the proposed membership and criteria. So for downtown, it's a committee now, and we're just changing the name to commission, so there'll be consistency because urban design is already named commission. And I am going to just move over here so that I can actually see this. My little monitor doesn't work over there. So currently, as you can see, for urban design, we have the criteria of different business owners, property owners, design professionals, residents with a demonstrated knowledge, and members of the Downtown Design Review Committee, as I referenced. And then the proposed rules would also include tenant or property owners in urban design. And so what that would do is, since we're expanding the area included, but we're retaining the regulations and guidelines of those individual districts, we still have that criteria for property owners or tenants. So that could be property owners or tenants in Scenic River. That they could still qualify for that. And then design professionals, and then residents with demonstrated knowledge of various things, which are all of the design district areas. And for the downtown, what we're adding in here would be, and that has different criteria because we have licensed real estate professionals are one of them. We currently have a citizen member. And what we're changing things to is we're adding one who has a knowledge in the field of historic preservation. Well, that could actually be a design professional because a lot of our architects are also working in historic preservation. So some of our current membership could actually qualify under several different slots. We also have tenant and property owners in Bricktown because currently the Bricktown committee does have that requirement for some membership, so we're transferring that over. As well as tenant or property owners in one of the downtown design districts. And then there's the schedule that I was referencing earlier. So we currently don't have a definitive date for the end of this. As I'm saying, we're looking to go to council June, July, but there's a lot of meetings between here and there. A lot of different things can happen. So obviously, this committee would continue to meet until the new ordinance would be adopted and become effective. So while, for example, I don't have anything that I think we're going to meet on next month, that doesn't mean you're not going to have any more meetings, because I anticipate that we will have more meetings of this current group. So, do you have any questions, comments?
I may have a question, just, and it may be something I didn't see in the, and then looking at the numbers. So how many people will sit on the board or the committee for, or the commission is what they're going to call it, for the new district?
So the Urban Design Commission is the commission that would see cases for Scenic River, and there's 9 members. There's 9 members that will be on that. And so, as you can see from this slide, the criteria for those members, tenant or property owners in one of the urban design districts, which would also include the Scenic River districts, design professionals, and then residents with demonstrated knowledge of the various areas in the urban design districts.
I think what threw me off was where I was reading the reduce the number of commission member appointments from 37 to 18.
Yeah,
So-
yes, currently there are 5 design review bodies. Some of them have 9 members, some have 7, Stockyards has 5. So when you look at all of those, there's 37 individuals that have to get appointed, that have to meet certain criteria. And as you know, there have been times when it's taken a while to fill a vacancy. So we end up with 1 or 2 vacancies, and sometimes we have a problem making sure we're going to have quorum when we have vacancies. And so in reducing it from 5 bodies down to 2, each with 9, that would only be 18 individuals. Does that help with that?
Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Any more discussion on the item?
So I included, as I normally do, at the end of the staff report, a recommendation. Obviously, you can change it as you want to. You would be providing a recommendation to the Planning Commission. This is for an ordinance amendment to several sections in Chapter 59.
I make a motion that we provide a recommendation of approval of this ordinance amendment to the Planning Commission.
I will second that motion.
Thank you.
Ramirez, you
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item 8, communications.
So there were a few AAs. One is the truck yard made some revisions. If you haven't been by there, they are definitely under construction. There was a story on the news, I think, week before last, about that they're working, and I forgot what their target date for being finished with that. Also included in this was the pedestrian bridge that you've also been hearing about. And the last one is another house, which I'm very excited about, that's down in that area between Little Flower Church and Lower Scissortail Park. This particular one, this person, I think this is either house 3 or 4 that he's working on down there. So if you haven't been down in that area, there's several going up on Southwest 13th. So you might just kind of drive through there to see how things are changing. And as I said earlier, currently I don't have anything on the agenda. We will let you know probably next week if we're able to cancel your meeting next month.
Excellent, thank you so much. Our next meeting date, we'll find out, is Thursday, currently scheduled for Thursday, May 2nd, 2024. So, and you'll let us know. I appreciate it. Thank you all.